Hi Leo, welcome to your week ahead tarot with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, my readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant sign. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign Leo, this is for you. And I always advise that you watch all three to get a clearer, more complete picture of how they're going to speak to you. With that said, remember remember they are general readings. Not everything's going to resonate with everybody, and that is just fine. You should always use your own discernment. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. For your key to the week this week, you've got the Hanged Man, right? Now usually this is stasis, sitting still, all the rest of it. It can be delays as well, so watch out for that. But what I will say to you is this actually feels like a week where you are really choosing to do some inner maintenance, right? This is a week where you're likely to find many pockets of opportunity for you to really get into your into some, maybe even to some form of deeper spirituality for some of you. What I like to say with this card as well, it's sometimes it will see us experiencing something where we realize, okay, maybe I'm extracting, maybe I'm creating this external environment because I keep allowing it. All right, so this is a moment at which maybe some of you might take stock of something and say, okay, this is where I'm feeding into this and this is how I can stop it. For those of you that are continued subbies, you know I love you for it. Having a real problem with this one. For those of you that are continued subbies, you know Rafi loves you. If you're new to my channel, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and this resonates, hit that subscribe button. For your actions and options this week, you have the Fool card. New things, new places, new people, in some way, shape or form. That full moon, because the full moon on the 16th is happening in your sign. So this is a big deal for you, right? Because you're under the astral spotlight. But for some of you, this is really a fresh start. And I kind of feel like this is a decision that's made in the soul this week, whatever that might mean to you. Now, your actions and options is about what you do. And you've got the Fool card. So some of you are changing directions on something, but you're also changing your mind about something that maybe you thought you were resolute on and now you're changing it back, or maybe you are just choosing to do things in a very different way. This kind of feels, if I'm honest, because the Fool card's been really active this week, really active, as has the Tower, to be completely honest with you, and I kind of feel like this is a spiritual reboot in some way, shape or form. For your communications and conversations, you've got the Hermit card, right? So this is a lot of major card energy. We're only 2 cards in at this point. Now, you've got the Hermit card right underneath the Hanged Man. Now, I find this interesting just because of some of the ideas that come up around these 2 cards. But when it comes to your communications, this week, it does suggest that you've put the work in on something. I kind of feel like there's multiple projects for a lot of you. Some of them are ready to go and some of them aren't. And that Hermit card is it's kind of like this week you're having to really discern, do I have time to deal with this situation that actually has nothing to do with me? And more importantly, which of these projects, you know, because everything looks ready until we realize it isn't, right? And this could be one of those weeks where you look at something, you're like, I'm about to push this out, and then you're like, oh my gosh, no, it's not ready. This could be one of those weeks. For those of you that work for somebody else, there is a strong emphasis on your service, what you're doing, how you're doing it, the quality of your work. It's not bad at all. It just may be for some of you that you feel like you're doing more than you're getting in return for, if that makes sense. For those of you that are business owners, entrepreneurs, people that work for themselves, there's a sense here that you are, it's almost like you're either overhauling your business or you're looking at the ways that you can do what you do. All right. So like this could be branching out. It could be bringing new people in. It could be taking your work and your job and your career in just a completely different direction. And there's a lot of consideration about this. Is it the right move? Like you're asking yourself some of the tough questions, but there's a part of you that on the soul level kind of feels like it's restless, hence this spiritual reboot in some way, shape or form. So I actually kind of like this for you. I think it's an interesting moment for sure. When it comes to your those of you that are retired and no longer working, this is one of those times where a journey, a quest, a spiritual pilgrimage in some way, shape or form could definitely shape up for you, or could shake you out of some sort of complacency. I feel like a lot of you as well are on the precipice of a journey. So it's like this week you're just starting something, which is not necessarily a bad thing. It's kind of like you're just doing what you need to maneuver yourself into like where you really want to be. And for some of you, I feel like this is you thinking about your larger sort of longer term journey, you know, maybe even in the sense of your entire life, you know, and that would be for all of you in some way, shape or form. For your love and relations, you've got the 5 of Swords, and you've got this underneath the Fool card. Honestly, the 5 of Swords is not an easy card, right? And you've got this Hermit card here. Interestingly enough, you know, all Leos, the silent dignity type as I like to call them, and the more theatrical ones like myself, they tend to they like a good debate, right? Leo, they don't like to argue, but they do like a good debate, and you know, as long as everybody plays fair. This week I kind of feel like you're just not speaking, and that might really get your partner's goat. So if you guys are having a challenge, an issue, an argument, and you're just not engaging with it, I think it will make things worse, because eventually they'll get loud until they get a reaction. So maybe think about a way that you can formulate what you need to say in order to kind of move forward. When it comes to those of you that are single, honestly, there's no cards here that represent the past, but there is an energy in these cards that speaks to me about someone new showing up at the same time that somebody old starts to become a bit more prominent in your life. So it will be a very interesting week across the board. For your money and materials, you've got the Knight of Pentacles. So this is you on, like I said, the money is good this week. In fact, money is not good or bad this week. It's just stable, right? Your finances in the here and now for this week specifically are stable. But whatever you're working on behind the scenes, it really has the potential to push your earning potential over the edge, or to really enhance your magnetism when it comes to your money, your finances, and your resources. So, excuse me, whatever you're working on behind the scenes, it has good results, all right? For your physical health and vitality, this is going to be your knees, specifically your knees and your structure, like your skeleton. Look after your bones this week is what I want to say to you, but especially your knees. When it comes to your home and environment, for some of you, it looks like you are taking a trip or a journey away from home this week, which kind of figures, and it's interesting because I feel like for some of you this might be off the back of something, and so maybe you end up going, maybe you go away for the weekend and you end up being somewhere longer than you expected to be into this week. Now, when it comes to your full moon, this full moon is in your sign, so this is your sun, your moon, or your ascendant being fully lit up. Remember, when I talk astrology, it's always whole sign and it's always the tropical zodiac that I'm using. That being said, if you are an ascendant Leo, this is a full spotlight on you. In some way, shape or form, you are being highlighted. If there's something that you want to release, something that you want to share with the world, this is the week. In fact, this is the day to do it, because you are the most visible that you're going to be, apart from when the sun comes into Leo, this whole year, right? This is your full moon, and the moon itself is a spotlight and a broadcast of some sort. So this is where people are really going to be feeling you. All right, so use that to your advantage. For your full moon message, so on the 16th, full moon in the sign of Leo, you have the gate 48 and depth. Now here's where this gets really interesting. So you've got the Dagaz rune on top of, like, over the chest space here, and that rune in the runic system literally represents the dawning of a new day, or the rebooting of a spiritual self, and so therefore your entire self. That full moon is really highlighting you in some way, shape or form, and I actually feel like it's going to give you the weight, the power and the energy that you need to really, maybe not even necessarily reinvent yourself, but to rededicate yourself to yourself, right? That's what this full moon is really asking everybody's attention, is to be on Leo at this moment in time. Their feelings, their thoughts, their energy, right? And this is a week for you to really reclaim yourself like never before. And when you can do that, it means that you'll be able to rewrite the way that the world sees or receives you in some way, shape or form. This could actually, in a lot of ways, I feel like this is a very foundational week. Yeah. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.